Today's series of broken games I wish I never worked on. We're talking about the 1974 Chicago Coin Deluxe World Series, but it is also affectionately known as just Chicago Coins World Series. The deluxe thing I think is implied because it has a credit window, but in their literature they always call it World Series. This one is basically a copy of the prior year, the 1973 baseball champ. I can't find any physical difference other than the name of the game and the cabinet scheme that got changed. This is a upright style cabinet. Let me come over here and I can show you. It is a big monster at like 400 pounds. It's a big thing, but this is considerably more space economic than, say, your traditional pitch and bat games like these, which tend to be longer, especially this United Star Slugger that's like 7 feet long, way longer than a pinball machine. So Chicago Coin felt that maybe video games were getting popular and this was the way to go to increase their market. Back of the game where basically the guts live. There's also a front access door. If you're buying one of these turkeys, I suggest that you make sure everything's here, especially in this front access door. This is really important to examine because right here, there should be a sound card. There isn't one on this game. I was tricked into buying it. Ha! Wasn't smart enough to open this front door to see that there was no soundboard there. So what I did is I hacked in this electronics 123 soundboard to get my sounds. And I actually have test switches on the board so we can listen to the sounds. That is actually a switch I added. This is the out relay right here. And I added a switch right there. So when that closes, when you get an out, normally the game just rings a chime bell, but now you get this sound, which is kind of a booing sound. And then there is a base hit sound and a home run sound. That's the home run, and then the base hit sound, a little more subtle. So these mimic the original sounds. I was having a hard time finding the original sounds for this game. There's some pretty bad videos on YouTube, but not good enough to steal the sounds. So I just did my own sounds. If you want more information about using that Electronics 123 soundboard, you can go to my webpage, pinrepair.com/baseball, and I have complete instructions on how to wire that soundboard into your Chicago Coin Deluxe World Series or the prior year Chicago Coin World Champ or Baseball Champ. And I also have the sound files that you can download. So like I said, I couldn't get good, clear examples of the original sound files, so I made my own that sound very much like the originals, but are much higher quality. And you can download them and put them on your own little board and have sound for your game. This soundboard is really dirt cheap. It's like $20, and those little test buttons are $1. And then you need a bridge rectifier. That's another couple bucks, and a cap, another $1, and a fuse clip, another $1, and you're good to go. And you can, for less than $30, have yourself full sound. Here's that little board. You can see how small it is. You can use an SD card, but you don't need to. This thing has 4 meg of memory built into it, and my little sound bites that are only 3 or 4 seconds long, and I have 3 of them, and actually I have a 4th one, but I'm not using that, will easily fit in the onboard memory on this card. And then this is the solder pad version. You can also get a terminal, screw terminal, but I like the solder pad thing with a connector so I can remove this thing because it has a little USB port right here. So you can hook it directly up to the computer, and this thing acts like a USB drive, and you just copy your files onto the onboard memory. And then this blue thing is the volume control. This thing here is a headphone jack for when you're testing it on your desk. I was running it off a 9-volt battery. For the power supply on it, I took the original had 10-volt AC, and what I did is ran the 10-volt AC to this bridge rectifier with a 2200 microfarad cap soldered across the positive leads, and then ran the positive leads to that little soundboard, and that was sufficient power because those little soundboards, those 1, 2, 3 soundboards, will take anywhere from, I think, 8 volts to 28 volts for power. So they're really versatile, and it's 15 watts of sound coming through this tiny little speaker with a little volume control on it. It's plenty loud enough. Let's talk a little bit more about the game. Inside, there should be a fluorescent bulb. I have replaced the fluorescent bulb with a blacklight bulb. Actually, I added a second one too. Now, these aren't the normal black blacklight bulbs. They are the reptile blacklight bulbs that are more whitish in nature. Let me turn the lights out and I'll show you. Here's the game on with those 2 reptile whitish blacklight bulbs. And you can see the graphics along there. They use a lot of fluorescent colors and they glow very nice under the blacklight, but it still provides enough ambient light to make the game playable. I mean, if you made it too dark, it would suck. So I like the black lights. If you don't like them, you can take my black light bulbs out and put in standard fluorescence, but I think it adds quite a bit to the look of the game. So let's talk about the playfield here. There's no running man unit like is on a Williams game where it has the little men that run around the bases. No running man unit for you, Chicago coin. Instead, this has a light animation. You can kind of see it here, where if you get a single, the guy runs with light bulbs to first, and then you see him on first base. Same thing for second, third, and coming home. There's also 3 outs. This game is not available to have multiple innings, but the neat thing about the outs is that if you put it in either one of these stars up here, it'll actually, and you have 2 outs, it'll decrement the outs by 1. Same thing if back there, that 1, 2, 3 star, if a star is lit and you get a home run on the middle deck, I believe it is. Actually, I think if you get any home run, it'll decrement the outs also. So you can see the targets across the back. You have to hit one of those, but there's plenty of room for the ball to go between them if a missed target registers as an out. So if you don't hit a target, you get an out. And then if you look right here, these little white plastic things, those are little jumps that actually jump the ball up into the upper deck. And believe me, you can get it up there. It's really not that difficult. The bat is just a piece of nylon. That little green fluorescent line on there, I painted that myself just to add a little flair to the bat, just using some fluorescent water-based paint. I was actually thinking about doing that around the rubber on the edges. I didn't go that far though. Just because I got the black light and I figured, hey, why not make more crap glow? So anyways, that's the explanation of the game. Now I'll take and it is a 2-player. I should mention that, 2-player, and it has a lighted hundredths reel. Those will light up 100 if you go over 99. And you can set it for replay so that you win games also, hence the deluxe nomenclature. But let me light this thing up and let's play a game. Now we should talk about the pitches. There are 2 magnets on the playfield, one here, one about here and one about here. If you pitch straight, the ball will indeed come down straight, and you might touch the tip of the bat, but it's generally over a little bit. It's pretty much dead center. If you do a slider, it goes this way, and you'll end up hitting the bat about here. And if you do a curve, it'll end up coming all the way over here. It is subtle. It is not a crazy amount of curve or slide to it, but it is noticeable, and it does change the angle at which the ball hits the bat, allowing you to hit the different decks. Because what happens is as you hit them, they light up. There might have been originally graphics here There wasn't on my game, but I think the idea is that you want to hit the decks for more home runs. And if you light them all up, you get some kind of bonus. Also, this thing is a home run bonus. So you not only get the home run, you get 2 more runs or 3 more runs. And again, as we talked about, the star will give you, it'll be a star and usually 1 lit up. And then it'll decrement your outs from whatever you have down 1. Cute little feature, but let's give it a whirl. I'm going to start her up. We'll watch the score reels reset. Okay, so our game over and tilt went off. And you can see I got a guy here and nobody on base. So I'm going to just do a straight. And I'm going to catch the ball, hit the bat. Now, when you hit the bat, did you hear that? It's loud because there's a knocker in the game that when you hit the bat, the knocker also goes out to make a louder noise. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just throw the ball down here. And it is waiting for me to score something. I'm going to hit triple. Now watch what happens on the light animation. See how the guy ran the bases and I got my sound. And now I got a guy on third. So we're going to pitch again. I'll catch the ball. And actually, I'll just let it drop. I'll hit the bat. Hear my knocker. Now I'm going to hit a single. And it'll bring this guy home and put a guy in first. So now I got a guy on first. My third place guy went home, and I have 1 run. So now we're going to pitch again, and I'm going to bat, but this time I'm going to hit home run, and you'll hear a different sound effect, and we should get the home run plus 1. Daddy need a home run. So we brought home the guy on first, plus a run, plus the 1 bonus. And now you can see the bonus is incremented to 2. And if I hit more home runs, it's kind of random where it goes. Let's try it again. But what I want to do is I want to get an out. So I'm going to get a ball here, and then I'm going to drop it up here, and we'll get it out. There's my boo sound, and we have 1 out. Now I'm going to pitch, and I'm going to put a ball up in the star. And if I do that, I will lose my out. So let me see if I can do this while getting it all in frame. I'll use my magic screwdriver here and watch the outs. And you see my out went away. Pretty cool feature because it's only 1 inning. I guess they felt there had to be a way that you could play well and make the game longer. But overall, now if we watch, let's watch where the ball goes with and without the magnet. Here is a straight shot. You can see it comes just to the right of the tip of the bat. Now here's a curve. It should go over this way a little bit. See, it does. It curves over that way. It's subtle, but it does. And now the slider will come this way. Watch the slider. See how it hits the bat now? The slider comes and hits the bat about here, where the straight is about here and the curve is about here. So the magnets are subtle, but they do work, and they change the angle when you're trying to hit these little ski jumps to get into the upper deck. I could try and do that. That was an out. I didn't hit anything. All right, let's try this again. That was a whiff. Single. Another single. Home run. Give me a high fly, baby. Ooh, got it up into the upper deck. Pretty neat. And since I got it up there, now that guy's lit. And if I put it up here, then this guy will light over here. But anyways, you kind of get the point of where we're going. Hey, got a double. It's a pretty fun game. There's an out. And another out. And now I'll go to 3 outs, and my game is over. So there you have it. The Chicago Coin Deluxe World Series, or World Series, however you want to call it, with the modifications for the sound and my blacklight bulbs that I have added up there. You can see they're the whitish blacklight. Thank you.